All right, welcome back to the Defining Moment right here on Elevate TV. And remember, you can get in touch with us. Our social media handles on Twitter, on Instagram, on Facebook at Elevate TV Kenya. So interact with us. If you have a story you want to share, your story, get in touch. We will reach out to you, and definitely, you will come and inspire the people and encourage them as well. My name is Anthony Ndiema. We are with Maggie Shege. Powerful story. And if you're a first-time parent, it can be a lot of stress if you're having distress with your first child. So here you are, Maggie. You've done a labor for such a long time. Eventually, you did not succeed.
I did not succeed.
So you have to go for CS. The baby comes out. You're not able to breastfeed. The baby is in distress. He has to go, into oxygen so that he can survive.
Yes.
And now you realize that there is much more, even for yourself. You have to go into theater. And they discover a whole lot of pus
In my abdomen.
in your abdomen. So that, and if you had to go to Monday, then the story would have been different. We will not be having this interview.
Imagine.
Thank God.
Thank God.
For the brethren who are praying for you.
Yes. Oh, yes.
So they removed the pus. Was that it?
That was not it.
Wow.
Well, I would want to say that at this point, actually, my son is not doing very well. Because now began saying he looks like he has meningitis.
Oh, no.
Yeah, and they actually had to remove the spinal fluid.
That's a few days old baby.
Imagine.
My goodness.
But I'm telling you, Anthony, there has got to be a God in heaven. Because I cannot explain how come that with my little milk, my baby has an infection but survives it.
Right. And meningitis is terrible.
Yes. And I can tell you, now at this point, I have a little milk. Very little. Now my husband will top that up with some naan to help the baby at least have enough.
Right.
But it's not as good as the mother's milk.
No. It can never be.
But the Lord took care of him anyway. So I'm here in the wards, and I'm not actually improving as much. I couldn't do much. Mind you, I wouldn't eat as much because my stomach still had lots of issues. I always had a stomach that was, a bad stomach.
Right.
At almost throughout. I remember actually one of those days I called my spiritual father and I told him, you know what, Dad, please pray for me. I am going through lots of pain. And that was not actually, he prayed for me, and I thank God. I think from that moment, yes, that's Apostle David Juma. And from that moment, actually, my stomach became a little much better. But then, even with the little improvement, they were like, you know what? I think we need to take you back to theater. This would probably have been 2 or so weeks.
After that?
Yes, probably 1.5 after the second surgery. Yes.
Right.
So they say, you know what, we need to take you back to theater and see if we can seal the wound. Remember, when I went to theater the first time after the pus, if the wound is very highly infectious, they wouldn't seal it. Because they don't know what will happen if they sealed it up. Yes.
More infection.
Yes, it can become more infection or more infectious. So after that, they actually take me back to theater. And
so all this time, you just have to keep cleaning the wound.
Yeah. They keep cleaning the wound.
Right.
I'm telling you, the cleaning process is painful.
And it's not once in a day, a number of times.
It's not, a number of times. I remember one of those days I was in so much pain and I was crying as they cleaned me. And this doctor was actually like, I wish we cleaned all patients, all the patients that we cleaned were like you, because I kept telling her, you know what, whether I am improving or not, I know that God heals and he will heal me.
Come on.
I actually kept telling her that, and because my husband was really praying for me, by the way, the brethren in church were still praying. My pastors were still praying. And I will actually encourage people to belong to a family. It is very important. And I knew that God would get us out of this place. So they take me back to theater. And you know what actually happens? They discover we cannot close this wound. We will need to open it further and also do an extra surgery. So they called my husband. Yes, they actually called my husband to sign so that I can have a second surgery on top of that other one.
Oh no. But what's the agenda now? What's the intention?
The issue was my intestines were in a mess. After they removed the pus, it's like they were stuck together. They were stuck together, and not just that, there was still more pus that was forming.
Oh no.
So they not only needed to open it up further, but they also needed to clean, of course, clean the stomach again, but also cut again, like do another extra surgery, so that they see if they are able to put the intestines in order. Yes.
Wow. So this is now like 4 surgeries.
These are 4 surgeries on
and
one
all this
person
time-
in 1 month. the
In
month of
1
November,
month.
yes.
You're still in hospital.
I'm still in hospital.
How is baby doing at this point?
At this point, well, at some point he was doing well.
Yeah.
I remember he was even brought to our room, but then he was kept with injections, like they kept injecting him.
Right.
At this point, my husband has stayed in hospital until the hospital has felt they were merciful enough to say, you know
can
what?
stay here.
Stay in this room with your wife.
Because ideally you're not supposed to.
You're not supposed to. And at the same time, I really needed his help. And also he, by the grace of God, I thank God for a husband who is so loving that he felt he needed to stay on. He needed to see us every day.
Shege.
Yes,
Well
and we
done.
thank God for him.
Yeah. Wow. So now you're going to the surgeries, the 2 other surgeries.
Yes.
How did that go?
Oh my God. Anthony, I woke up with a lot of pain.
Yeah.
I would never have imagined on earth that I could bear so much pain.
And it's a surgery on another
On
surgery.
another one. Actually, I couldn't tell what had happened to my stomach. You know, I don't know what happened. I was sleeping, right?
Yeah.
So when I wake up is when I wonder, why am I in so much pain? Like, I could not stay in one particular posture. You know, the way at umelala hivi or on your side, no. Like the pain was too much. I remember that whole night I just kept saying, you know what? I am in so much pain. Will you probably give me painkillers, inject me? What can you do? They will say, we injected you with the strongest.
Painkiller.
Yes, it's called
kind of-
morphine or something.
Yeah, morphine.
Yes, it's actually a drug.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
I think morphine.
Yeah, morphine or something.
Yeah.
And they were saying, I will have injected you several times, my dear, and this thing even causes constipation.
Right.
We can't do this anymore. You just try to hold on. Try to hold on. The only thing I kept saying was, at least inject me with a painkiller. Inject me with a painkiller. And then because of you remember I have a baby who is unwell and I'm supposed to breastfeed.
Right.
The next day when I was almost like, now I'm talking, I can see people clearly, my husband gives me food. Water. No, he actually gave me lots of water because I was also feeling very thirsty.
Right.
Of course, because of the theater
Yeah.
stuff. and all.
Dehydration
Yes.
as well.
So I take lots of water and then he gives me a little bit of food. And you know what that causes? It causes a stomach obstruction. And I get into pain. I begin
What's
to
that?
vomit. A stomach obstruction. I'm not really good in those terms.
Yes.
But it's really like your intestines have a blockage or something.
Ah, right.
So
Yeah.
food
An
can't
obstruction,
pass.
literally.
Yes. And that is what forces the food either backward or something.
yeah.
Yes. So I begin to vomit and vomit and vomit, and I have bad stomach aches. And I remember this one surgeon came and says, you know what? It doesn't look good. He checks my stomach and says, she doesn't look really good.
Yeah.
And you know, this might actually mean that we take her back to theater.
Number 5.
I am
no.
telling you, we were. This was at this moment we were like, God, no, this cannot even happen. I remember one of my friends was there, and my husband was standing right there. I actually saw them begin to cry, like their tears just welled up, and they couldn't control them anymore.
Right.
But I thank God because after they did an X-ray, they actually discovered it was partial. And a partial one can actually be sorted through a nasal tube. So it's a tube that is inserted through your nose to your stomach.
And that helps that situation.
It did. And
We
of
need
course,
to
I'll
be-
not forget to say the prayers.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's true. We need to be winding this up. So how long were you in hospital?
At least a month and a half.
All this time you're battling pain, surgeries, and so on.
As in a month, like 1.5 months of not actually being able to walk myself. If I would walk, probably it would be centimeters.
That's
I
a
don't
few-
know.
yeah.
Like not even 2 meters.
When you were released from hospital, what did you feel? How was it like?
Oh my God, I was so happy. And I must tell you, at this point, I had lost like 20 kgs.
What?
Yes.
20?
Yes.
You were haggard
Yes.
kabisa, 200
Yes.
MB huko. Oh my. The baby, how was the baby then?
My baby was fine by now, by the way, and I really thank God.
Yeah.
The baby was fine. He had recovered even from the meningitis and everything. They had checked him. He was perfectly okay. And we really thank God.
Amazing.
We really thank God.
So today, and I'll just give you an opportunity to speak
Yes.
to someone right now. So today, Ethan is how old?
Nathan.
Sorry, Nathan. Yes, Nathan.
Sorry. Yes, he's called Nathan.
Yes.
Nathan is 2 years, 5 months. Yes, he's almost turning 6 months. So 2.5.
2.5. He's okay?
He is perfectly okay. And by the way, I talked to this doctor the other day.
Yes.
And she was like, my God, your son actually is turning 2 years and he's healthy.
Right.
This has got to be the hand of God on that boy.
Imagine. Even doctors know there's a hand of God somewhere.
Yes, they do.
Wow. And he's healthy.
He is a healthy
Your
boy.
husband went through a lot of turmoil.
Oh, yes.
Emotional turmoil.
Oh, yes.
Did he survive?
He did to the glory of God.
Right.
And I must tell you, and I'm repeating this again,
Yes.
it took a lot of prayer
Right. I
from
like
the church.
that. Yeah.
It took a lot of prayer.
Yeah.
And Anthony, I would actually want to encourage
Come on.
people,
just
even
speak
out
to
there,
someone. Yeah.
belong to a church, belong to a fellowship. It is so important. Sometimes when we are down, someone will be carrying us. God would give somebody the grace to carry you in their prayers.
Right.
Through and through. So it is important to belong somewhere, to belong to a family and interact with that family and live in peace with them.
Right.
It is so important. Honor your parents. Your spiritual parents, honor them in the Lord because they will uplift you. They will carry you through troubles you could never have carried yourself.
That's right.
Oh, yes.
Through the turmoil, I mean, what you're saying is that the brethren who prayed for you,
Yes.
that
Some never slept, by the way.
Wow.
I remember at one point my best couple would say, Mom, you know what I'm doing? I'm calling anyone I know is a prayer warrior. And I'm telling them, don't sleep. We have to pray for this girl because she must come out.
lovely.
Yes.
Our regards to Shege. I mean, he's a strong man. First
Yes,
baby
to the
going
glory of
through
God.
that, and yourself. We thank God for you.
thank
And the
God.
people who prayed and stood with you.
Oh, yes. And we bless God for them.
Amen. Keep encouraging people.
Oh, yes.
It is
I will.
possible.
That's
Sindio?
my ministry.
All right. So Maggie Shege, powerful testimony right there. If it were not for the brethren and praying for her and God, she wouldn't be here sharing this powerful testimony. God bless you. Thank you so much for joining us on The Defining Moment. Till next time, Barakat.